This is Reality Obsessed, aka Jeremy here, with a big message, and I've hopefully support some decent attire. I got a Redemption Island shirt. I apologize if this is backwards. I also apologize for the shirt because my mom bought that, not me. I know how crummy a season that is, but I started, so I'm gonna support this shirt with pride. I also have two green buffs on me. This one's for Lazon, the Brains tribe, which, worst tribe or not, it had 3 top sixers and 3 future second chancers. So give him that. And then I got Takeo, which is the spoiler alert, currently losing tribe on second chances, but who cares? You're rooting for at least one person on that team. Who the heck it is up to you. Now, away from that little formality, I do think it is time I got down to business here. I mentioned in a blog recently that I will, in 2 months' time, not leaving yet, 2 months' time, leaving the site for the military. I'm not logging out my account. I'm not asking any of the moderators to shut down my account. That's not what I do, because I will be back. You can count on that. I'm just going to be gone for a long period of time. I will be going to basic training on November 24th. So yeah, in precisely 2 months' time, I will be away from site. And the same goes for Skype, unfortunately. Anyone out there wondering? So yeah. Why did I join the Air Force? And how long have I known this? I've known about when I'm going to basic training for a few months now, but I was a little worried about what some people in other nations might think. There might be an irrational concern, but it was still something I had in the back of my head, and I'm just happy that so far nobody is against it. In fact, everyone, the fact that you all have so much support for me means a lot to me. It really does. And why have I joined? Well, I'm 19 years old, and I would be in college right now. I, in fact, did a year of college already. But after a year of college, suddenly something hit me. Because I was going to community college for free. There was no scholarship, it was just that in my state, Oklahoma City Community College, which is where I went to, I was able to go for free because if you graduated from an Oklahoma City public high school, which I did, you automatically get tuition and fees free. It's a really good deal. Books are still paid for, but that's probably something you can deal with. But yeah, I had a way for college then. I did not have a way for college afterwards, and I didn't know what I would be doing with my life. So I was thinking, what next? And another thing came into my mind. There are some people from my graduating class I know who have left their parents' house already. I mean, a 19-year-old living in their parents' house is not unheard of. It's probably pretty common. But my father and my grandfather, who were also both in the Air Force, or at least my father was, my grandfather might have been in a different branch, but I digress. They left their house at an extremely early age, like right after high school. Once they graduated, boom, they're out. And I do applaud them for that, and I like living under their roof, but at the same time, I began thinking I need to do something more with my life. I'm not going to stay in my parents' house, leeching off of them. No offense to anyone else still living in their parents' house if you're above the age of 18. If that's what you do, fantastic. Like, it's not me. It's just when I'm thinking about it, I want my own independence. When I got my first job, I didn't worry about my parents for an allowance. I was like, you can cut it, I can take care of this. When I got my first car, I didn't ask my parents to ever drive me anyplace. I said, I've got it. I appreciate the help they always gave me, but since I'm able to do it myself, I figured, do it. Just take responsibility for yourself. But yeah, the fact that I'm living under their roof, and I want to get my own place, and I want to get a good college education, and the best I've got is a minimum wage job is a lot lower at the Home Depot, that's not enough. I have no real way of getting my own place and getting a good education with that sort of career. And no quick way of getting a much better job either. I mean, maybe a better job, but it's incredibly unlikely that's going to happen. So the Air Force, when I know that when they're able to give you that sort of benefit, I realize I gotta go for that. And it is something to be proud of, to be a part of the military at all. So yeah, I took a chance and I'm going to be there. I took the ASVAB, which for those of you who don't know, that's the test to get into the Air Force. And it's on a scale of 0 to 99. Well, it's not to 100, I don't know, but I digress. And just to give you some clarification, a 30 is passing. A 50, though, is really what they want you to get. And obviously a 99 is perfect. I got 95. I don't think it's egotistical to say I'm very proud of myself for how well I did. And because of that score, I've asked for a career in air traffic control. Okay, I was able to pick 10 possible careers I'd want on a scale of 1 to 10. My number 1 was actually broadcaster. If you're surprised, say aye. But number 2 was air traffic control, because that is a career I want to learn about, and if you don't know, it's a career that makes a pretty decent chunk of money. And yes, it's incredibly stressful. Or at least that's what I've been told. I don't know yet. I haven't been put in any training for it yet. But I am just really happy I did get one of the top 2 jobs I wanted. And I'm going to take that with pride. And I will still be on site for 2 months. I'm going to make the absolute most of it. I might still do ZBB All-Stars as long as it starts before November 1st. Because I'm taking that time completely with family. I'll be on site still, but ZBB will take a lot of time out of people. So, you know, that's why I want to do it then. But I will apply for it. If I don't make it, that's fine. But give Kesha Rose a chance. 16th place does not mean you can't be an all-star. I digress. But the reason I gave a notice now is because if I only gave a notice a week before, I'd be getting a lot of very emotional goodbyes, which I would be okay with, but at the same time, there are a lot of people on site. So many people who have made a real impact on me as a person and who I really look up to on site. So for me to get goodbyes from all of them might be a little overwhelming. So I'm not giving any goodbye messages yet, but while I'm here, this is why it's going to be a lot longer, I'd like to say a few words about the people on site who I feel as though have made a fantastic impact on me as a person, as a player, and as a human being. And I'm really confident there's some people I've missed. But it's a long list as it is, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order of the people who I feel either have impacted me or that I impacted them, which means just as much to me. So, in the beginning, we have Aaron7. Dude, I became a friend with you very quickly. I liked the post that you made about supporting people in ZBB before, and all the times you would be inspirational on site. I admire everything you did about that. Fantastic friend. Azen101, America's Got Talent. I really wish I could do it again sooner because I like singing, but even I admit I'm not fantastic at it. Like I auditioned for American Idol once, and I made it past the first stage, which is pretty good. But even I admit I don't think I'm David Cook or Chris Allen or anyone like that. So, but either way, it was a fantastic pleasure being in America's Got Talent. I liked talking with you before ZB3 because, or ZB2 because that's when you thought we'd be partners. And if I get a chance, I will do ZGT again, but I'm going to do something besides singing. I've got a couple videos I'd like to show to Zooper, but those will be for if it comes on before I leave. Alice from ZBB4. Man, you were a fantastic player, fantastic strategist. I had to go for you that week. I'm actually sort of impressed that you went home that week, because I figured you were the powerhouse popular player. But kudos to you, you were fantastic to talk to. Alvaro Vidal Puga. And yes, I can type his name fully, people. Don't be lazy. Okay, I do call him Alvo half the time too, but same difference. Alvo, since the beginning of your career on site and my career, when we first met, I have had the absolute biggest respect for you as a player. We've had the best bonds, the best trust built up, but even then we both know we don't always work together. Not out of spite, but it's just like, we want to do different things, which is great. That's what you should do as a player. You should open up who you work with. And that's what I did. But for the times that we have worked together, they have been some of the best times, best strategic plannings I've ever had, and I wouldn't trade for anything. AO7 Strand. Okay, this is more so an apology, because you're a great person still, and I love talking with you too, but this is more an apology because the last LS that we played together at Final 4, I made a big mistake because you were going to be my Final 2. And the mistake I made cost us because the person that would have been our third placement got immunity. So what did I do? Something probably stupid, but you know what? I wanted to just do it anyway for Strands, for your sake, Strand. I voted myself out and gave you a chance at the first place prize, which you got. And I'm happy that you did, because I would have actually felt kind of guilty taking it, because it was my mistake that got you there. For the record, I'm not going to just vote myself out all the time, and if you're wondering, it's just something I did there as an apology for him. Okay. Bailey 5000, the winner of Survivor World. You dominated challenges, you were a fantastic strategist. I backstabbed way too many people that game, so, and then you had someone else for Final 2 anyways. I didn't make a deal with you, so that's my own fault. I mean, I love playing the game, and I think I've made some great points, but even I'm gonna admit, I've made big mistakes in the past. So, yeah, but kudos to you. Bryce Jared 123. Fantastic friend, fantastic ally, but we both know we've had those really untrustworthy moments together. Like, it's like we both know we're not gonna work together, and we both know at any moment we will backstab each other. Like, the first time you and I played, I knew you were gonna backstab me, so I figured, I thought he'd be a trustworthy new guy. Alright, I'll blindside him first. I blindsided you, you got out, I won that game, and you actually vied for me a win after I blindsided you. That showed how much you respected me as a player and respected the game overall. And, again, kudos for that. And we've had great work in the past. We haven't gotten a chance to really work together that well on a long survival. If we get a chance to, I will. And we're going to go from there. Chaz. We haven't done anything really recently, Chaz, but we did a lot of really good work in the early games. And you always held your word to me, and I really appreciate that. I've always gotten caught in the middle between you and Wills14, who will be at the very end of this list. Like, you both are always going at each other, and I'm realizing, I've got two really close friends that are asking me to choose sides. This is not exactly any choice, people. But I went with the choices I went with, and they sometimes don't pay off. But it's a risk you'll take. Heck, sometimes the choices I make are the reasons why I get third, and sometimes I get third because they were just really scared to go into the Final 2. Which, again, is a really nice thing to think about. Chilltown 56. We played a game recently with each other. I blindsided you at Final 3, and you had some, again, great talks together as a strategy, and I swear in that game, before Final 2, I was going to tell you that I had Final 2 with Jay Daniels as well, but I fell asleep. I have no idea why I fell asleep. It's just like, I woke up, and then I was like 45 minutes into the final round. I made Final 2, which made me happy. I was like, shoot, I was supposed to tell him that. But I'm really happy that you weren't bitter. And I appreciate a non-bitter play. Clue Liz. Oh, and I know your name's Liz too. I'm kidding. But you are a wonderful, colorful character. Congratulations on second place in ZBB 6. You earned it. You are a phenomenal, honest player. And you beat me to my own game in ZBB All-Stars. I think you were in that. I forget. A lot of things have happened recently. Devon19 is a shame to see you go, but I'm leaving too for other reasons. Just, again, not yet. But the talks that you and I have had together, and you make me laugh all the time. Those vlogs, hilarious. They're fantastic. We play a game together, and I'm happy that you were still loyal to me. And you did really good as a player. I was surprised I didn't hear about you sooner. So, good job. DMK, again, a super non-bitter player, and I, again, really appreciate that. You are a challenge beast. And again, that's something to be really proud of. I wish we could actually play more and dominate to a Final 2 in a game at some point. That may come at a later date. I don't have a lot of time to go with that, but we'll see what happens. DeMarco14, again, you have, I'll be honest, a polarizing effect on the site from what I can hear. I might be wrong on there, but I've always seen you as a true friend. Since I came on the site and you actually prescribed me as, am I using that word right? But you described me, that's right, as a hero. And when you called me a hero, I was like, wow, he thinks of me as a really good, genuine player. It actually makes me really happy. And you and I have bonded ever since. So many Scott conversations, you have a fantastic personality, you should be very proud of who you are as a person. Electra. Again, ZDB4 companion, you were a fantastic ally, and I guess this goes without saying, an electrifying personality. But I was with you in that game for a while. I'll be honest, in that game, for those of you who don't know, I was playing the middle of everything. And so was the kid, who I'll bring up later. But in ZBB4, for anyone wondering my strategy, I was very quiet. But with loud personalities, you can't say that wasn't a smart strategy. And I was constantly a swing vote, which is a smart place to be. And a lot of you are thinking, well, oh, you can't make a decision. You would be flipping back and forth. That's actually the smartest thing you can do if you have two different sides in a game. Because if you just pick a side and you stick with them, where are you in that totem pole? More than likely, you're at the bottom. Which means you're most likely to go nommed. You might get out sooner than they do, so... Am I really just going to stick with one side and let them take all the power? Heck no! I'm playing my own game. I'm going to make sure everyone knows that I choose who I align with at every time. And I will constantly switch it up. I also made a pact to myself that if I could avoid it, I would not vote with majority. Because if I do vote with majority, it feels like I'm sheeping. I want to make my own choices on who I'm voting out, the people I want out. That's why I made those vlogs, which never got finished, but I'm just happy that I got out what I could. And yeah, I am hoping to get on ZUB7, but that, this isn't a plea for that. It's just something I am hoping for. Lost my train of thought. Got the emo. We haven't played a lot of big games together. We've tried an LS before. I'm not trying to criticize you, but you should probably be more active. Otherwise, we would actually make it far in the game together. In Fast Survivals, it's one thing. In a Long Survival, it's another thing. Like, for any players out there, if you join a game, stick to it. If you're inactive, you're actually ruining things for your tribe. Just saying there, a lot of people think that. And not just me. But on the other note, Goth, you are, again, a fantastic friend. We've always talked for a long time. I'm sorry that I've been unable to communicate with you recently, but you can see I've been pretty busy with my life, so. Jake A563. He's considered one of the most likable people on site. I'm a little upset that that's not my title. I'm kidding. That's not a big a deal to me. But he and I played a game one time, and I really bonded with him. By the way, this game was with Wills 14, and I elected to actually save Jake. I knew in the end I wouldn't be able to go to the Final 2 with him. I mean, unless he won Final 2, in which case I would probably be there. But I took that chance anyway. But I will say you got robbed there, and you deserve to be in a future ZBB season at some point, because you would dominate it somewhere in that lineup. You are a fantastic person to play with, to talk to, and you're entertaining. JD. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was thinking which game we played together. It's been a while. But JD, otherwise you and me are the glitched, robbed people, because we played a game together with Metal Angel, who isn't getting mentioned, but only because he has not been on site since that game. But I had no hard feelings to him. It was a glitch. But you and I were supposedly the people that would have been the ones to win, or the ones at least to get to Final 2, and because of a glitch, we lost. Yeah, I still don't let that go. But you would have won it hands down. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows you deserved it. I probably deserved it too, but I'm happy that you at least made it further than I did. So good job to you. J Daniels 15, you were the person that actually did take to the final two in the game I did with Chilltown 56. Again, we had some fantastic conversations. It was fantastic playing with you. I'm still proud of the win I did there. I'm proud of anyone I get, but those conversations were amazing. Jay Heavens, I don't think we've talked a lot on a strategic level, but the fact that you respect me so much as a player is something I'm really appreciative of. Because I've backstepped you several times over, and even you're thinking, dude, you're playing the game. You're just doing a really good job of it. That really means something to me. Thank you so much for everything you say about that. So, I like that. John Burlack. John _Burlack, but who cares on the underscore. John, you are a fantastic ally too. Super smart, super funny, super strategic. I think you should be back for ZBB All Stars, because I think that being with a partner might have been a couple people's downfall. I don't see, but I guess Skype missed out. Take a look at that in a minute. But I don't know if ZBB2 was a problem for some people because you have a partner. I don't know for sure, but you should at least come back. I would like to see that happen. Johnny Scott 1127, I played a long add-on survival where you hosted it. You did a fantastic job hosting it. You should be very proud of yourself. I've played a couple of games with you in the past, and you are again a fantastic player. And I always remember those moments. Jonathan X01, in Survival Heroes vs. Villains, I was prepared to be a villain and flip on you, along with Matt Mac 77. You caught us at the very end, but the fact that I took you to the very end is pretty good for us. But you bested us. You took care of. You took us out when you had the chance, and that's a really strong moment. I am low in power, so give me just a moment to get a charger in. Yeah, I'm doing this at my library, so I have a little quiet space to do this sort of thing. Just hold on a minute, everyone. Sorry for that brief interruption, everyone, but I'm back here. Where was I? Okay, so again, Jonathan, kudos on always winning those challenges and always and being a really strategic mastermind at the same time. The only reason we folded is because you were doing such a really good job of playing both sides. But you bested us. You deserve that win. Anyone who says otherwise, so what? Kesha Rose. Again, you are a fantastically sweet person to always talk to, and a really strong player. Again, 16th in ZUV6, come on, someone's going to get it. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of on that. And I think you should give him back for a second chance as an all-star anyway. Oh, and the argument I was trying to make to Nicholas, why can't you be both a favorite and an all-star? And a second chancer? I mean, think about it. Half the people, if not more, on Survivor Cambodia qualify as all three: second chancers, all-stars, and favorites. Because they deserve a second chance, they play a very good game the first time, and they're a favorite. I'd say Spencer is a big part there, whether you like him or not. He was seen as a big favorite. He did play a pretty good game to most people's eyes, and he got gypped because of an immunity won by Cats. I'd say he deserves a chance to come back. The same goes for Tasha, who everyone unanimously likes. She was a favorite, she played a strong game, and she got gypped because some people turned on her. You can be a couple things, and going back to Micronesia, Saray Fields. She's an all-star and a favorite in my eyes. And she deserves a second chance because she lost a fire challenge, but she did a really good job with that fire challenge. I'm just going off on Nicholas for a second. Nothing against Nicholas, it's just we haven't talked really. Magic, or as I know you better, you're Ben. You're the fellow Okie from my site. It is a pleasure having someone who is also from my state on this side as well. We've had some great talks together. Good job on second place in ZBB4. You earned it. I was going after you just because I needed to think of a way to not be seen as the boring floater anymore. It didn't work, but good job on where you made it. Mason, again, we haven't talked very much. When I first met you in ZBB4, I thought of you as sketchy because the conversations you always made for me were too vague for my own good. But the more we talked, I realized you're a pretty dang likable person yourself. And I liked having all these conversations with you. Marmer40, oh man. First off, it's sort of tragically funny that when I made a while back my top 15 users and did it in like 3 parts, that you were getting upset over the first 3 parts, I think. And you were like, why am I not on this list? Just wait till the top 3. You got my second best friend on this site, and I mean that. You have always been so loyal to me. I'm not even sure why though. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had great relationships in the past, but you practically refer to me as a god. I mean, I like the recognition, but what exactly did I do that made you look up to me so highly? I'm not even sure really, but the fact that you do is something that still means a lot to me. I appreciate it, man, and I still plan to play a couple of games in the future with you, Marcus. MattMax77, fantastic singer, fantastic strategist. I appreciate the fact that despite us having some different styles, some different beliefs in religion, that, you know, we can come together. As you all know, I'm Christian. I do, for a lot of people think that Christians just have, you know, that's probably that's a different video or blog or something. That, save it for later. Matthew 13, when you came on the site originally, people were kind of paying you automatically because they felt you were coming on too strong. But I was not one to quickly judge people like that, so I friended you, and messaged you, and I was like, hey, I think you're coming on too strong to certain people, but I think you might have some potential in games. And we bonded pretty well. And you've done a pretty decent job for yourself in recent games, from what I can tell. So, yeah, good job on your part. You deserve good recognition. You do still have a strong mindset on what you're doing, and thank you. Nigel827. First off, an apology. I thought from previous conversations that you said you were from Vietnam. You're from Singapore. Okay, that's my irrational fears are going away. But the reason I was so nervous about the whole Air Force thing and all was because I was worried about the whole situation. But the fact that you would say, if I was from Vietnam, it would be all in the past, is so thankful. We bonded immediately when I joined this site. And we've bonded ever since. Our message thread that we made since you got eliminated in the first LS we played has reached like 900. We talk all the time to each other. It's insane. But I consider you like one of the best friends I've ever had on site, and I'm just really happy to have met you in the first place. Oasis, you are currently the host of Ultra Big Brother, which I am in, and you are, again, like Johnny Scott, doing a fantastic job of playing. I don't know about your history with games or whatnot, but the fact that you made that game at all, and I see it's really well crafted, something to be proud of. Patriot, you were my final 2 in Sphere World, which again, Bailey took instead of me. It was my own fault. But again, you did fantastic. You did a fantastic job of strategizing. You could have won if you know, you weren't up against such a powerhouse player. And all I can say is, who could be more patriotic than a man who is named Patriot? Good job, Drew. Fillover, we talked once in a game. The one that I let AO7 Strand win, pretty much. But the conversations that we had there were fantastic. You are, again, really fun to talk to, good to bounce opinions off of. I love talking with you. Rob Goddess or Sean. I'd first like to apologize to Sean. There are several times where I'm thinking a girl. That's only because I'm thinking of Sean Johnson, the Olympic skater. Is that what she is? Anyway, I'm sorry, you're a dude. That was just a mistake. I've accidentally called you a guy to certain people. That was my mistake. But you are, again, a lot of fun to talk to, a really strong player. I will say the most notable thing I remember about you was a little bit of a sneak thing you did where you faked PMs, which I don't think you do anymore. I hope not, but that was a really strong play to make sure you weren't going to go home. It's just a shame you got caught. But I admire you for making such a big, bold move. Kudos to you. Russell versus Rob 2019. Once again, we had some really strong chemistry in the very early section of the game, Sarah. I used an owl on you twice. It was effective, and I'm really happy of how long we've gotten to work together. Saint Stunner, or I might know you better by another name, Kelly. Yeah, I know it's not really his name, but Kelly was the avatar that he played when he was in the Lawn Survivor Anon that we were doing with Johnny Scott, the host. He and I were inseparable. I was ashamed in everyone else's eyes, which was upset, but I got another 3rd out of 20, which is something I can live with. And he deserved that win, hands down. You were a fantastic player, good job on what you did. I'll never forget the talks that we had with each other. Sarita Bella, or more accurately, Caleb's wife. She joined the site recently. I think she left. I don't know for sure, but I still hope she sees this, because the talks that she and I had together, again, like, I had no idea how much I had in common with Caleb's wife. She's yours, man. But she is so interesting. I love the fact that we had so many things in common with each other. I mean, you're a wonderful woman. Disney rocks, Doctor Who, everything about it. And My Little Pony. Woohoo! Shoaib, or the Flipper from ZDB1, also the original creator of Zooparoos, which has been on hiatus for whatever reason. But I'm happy that we got a chance to work on a comic together, or at least the script for a comic, and you have fantastic ideas in your stories, and a fantastic, entertaining player. I'm gonna remember you for a long time. Speller95, you were one of my first friends on the site recently. We haven't had a chance to talk in a while, but you were a phenomenal friend as well. I appreciated the admiration you had for me as well. Good job. Spider Monkey, Ethan, I bond with you especially because of an incident I heard where you mentioned that you've been bullied. And when I heard about that, I was like, unacceptable. Like, I was bullied for a long time when I was in elementary and high school too, and I've been able to work past it. But I know a lot of people can't. I don't know. It's just people get really traumatized by this sort of thing. So after high school, or actually during high school, I vowed to myself that if I ever felt someone was being harassed and being extremely bullied, I would be there to stand up for them. That's why I promised I'd be the sort of friend that would stand up for a person if they are getting too much crud thrown at them. But, my high school was a very anti-bully school, thankfully, but it's not the same for everyone. And I want to shout out to everyone, if you have any bullying problems at all, you can come talk to me about them. I will keep them completely anonymous. There's no worry about it. If you're still too scared to say anything, at least don't be afraid to talk to your parents about it. And Ethan, we've had fantastic talks together, and I feel as though, I've really helped you move forward as a person. If you're still being harassed, I'm still there for you, man. I really am. The Kid, John Hasbro. Okay, Hasbro's not his real name, but it'd be really cool if that was his last name. He and I had a rocky history. He backstabbed me in a Survival All-Stars. He also, and then I got back to him in a Star Choices, which I doubt he remembers. But my best memories of him were from ZDB4. The winner as he was, he and I had the exact same mindset on what we were doing. I mentioned before that I've been a swing vote, and so was he. He figured it out quickly, and he said, you know what, we should work together. Because, yeah, we gotta kind of figure out, like, what we're doing and what sides we'd be picking at any point. And I thought, you know what, the guy's not playing me this time. I actually can work with him. And we did. We did great work together. It's a shame I got 6th place, but he won, and he completely earned it. Good job to you, man. The Pennywise, who I haven't heard from in forever, but again, you were a fantastic ally to me. I appreciate the loyalty that you showed to me as well. You are a fantastic friend. Thank you so much for so many good times. Will's 14. Oh yeah, I called you a really strong friend at some points. I will admit strategically, you see me too much as a big threat. Like you're scared to bring me to the final three. The final two, I meant. I promise. If I ever have to choice myself, I'm bringing you to final two just to spite you. Just to see, hey, who would win? And perhaps if you did win, you might bring me to final two in another time or so. If I have that sort of time left before I go to the Air Force. Wolfwood CPA2, the father figure of the site. Caleb, your posts that you make for other people are inspirational. I knew it at a time that when I made the post for you that you deserved one. You have earned one and a spot as one of the people that should be looked up to the most on site. Everyone appreciates what you do. You're a strong friend, strong player, and a kind, loving man. WWXC Runner 1, Danny. Again, another challenge beast and another great ally that I've always been able to count on. And you've got an electrifying personality yourself that when you know your back's up against the wall, you will throw anything you can. I remember in a survival choices that we did recently, you went Mike Holloway on everybody, and you earned your win fair and square. Good job. X Blue Beck X. I just called you Blue. That was Mama 40's sister, who I also bonded with very quickly. She's a very strong player, and she's got great connections on site. So if you're not friends with her, like, give her a shout out too. Why Swimmer 96? Okay, we haven't been friends on a super deep level or anything, but in fact, I've honestly, when people ask me in applications who my biggest enemy is, I usually put you down. Not because I don't like you. Far from it. It's just that we've had the most conflict in the past, and that's the only reason why. But I look back and I just sort of laugh about it. It's just like you're always joking. It's just like you're sort of like a likable troll, if I may put it that way. Now, trolls are not necessarily a good thing, but sometimes they're just harmless jokers who are just looking for a reaction out of people. That might not always be well liked, but if you're doing it tastefully, I'll accept it. And I think that Noah, you do it pretty tastefully, in my opinion. You are a really good host, a really funny player. You should be a shoo-in for ZBB All-Stars. And on a side of close friends, that's all I've got. That went for quite a while. But I will give one more shout out to people before I close this vlog. The moderators. You have made this site fantastic to be a part of. Zwooperman, Chris, Goku, Trishy, and ZBA Brother I'll even consider. I don't know who does him. But this is a fantastic site that you made for so many people to play, virtually anyway, their favorite reality show games. You put so much hard work and dedication into it. I know you've got everything under your belt, and you're going to continue doing great things on this site. You deserve the best shout-outs possible, and that was them. So that was my vlog for everybody, and I want to again restate, I'm not done on the site yet. I will be around for a long time. I just wanted to give some messages to the people that I liked, especially felt like I had a connection with on this site. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. It's just I had a long list as it is. I couldn't add any more people. But we can talk more for a good time on this site. And happy playing, everybody.